Well, welcome everyone to another episode of Talk Your Abs Off. I'm your host, Abby Clapper, and today we are here in Orlando, Florida at the PodFest 2026, and I thought it would be fun to hear from my fellow podcasters of what some of their healthy habits are that they maintain over their lifetime. So join me as we listen in and hear what they've got to say.
My name is Angela Belford. I'm with the Be Freaking Awesome podcast. And the healthy habit that I do is maintaining my blood sugar by eating consistently every 3 hours.
Hello, I'm Sammy Kinnison with the Be Freaking Awesome podcast. Every day, I maintain my emotional health by doing a practice of forgiveness.
Hello, friends. Uncle Marv here. My podcast is The Unhealthy Podcast. But the one healthy thing that I've adopted and has worked for me is to use the Yuka app, Y-U-K-A, to help us shop for all the best foods. If it's green, it's good. If it's red, it's not. And that has helped with planning meals and eating more healthy.
Hi, I'm Mary McAdam, and I have the Voracious Reader podcast. And one healthy habit that I determined to do last year was that my best friend and I, we wanted to spend some more time together. We also wanted a little stress reduction. So we ended up going to the gym after work every single night for about half an hour to 45 minutes. We did end up complaining nonstop while we were on the treadmill, but we did find that actually burned more calories. So it was a win-win.
Okay, my name is Harvey Hubble from Harvey Hubble's Show and Tell, and my healthy habit that I do is I make a commitment to my wife and to my life that I wake up 3 days a week at 5 o'clock in the morning and I work out. And I do other things too. I eat right.
Hey, my name's Jake.
And I'm Emily. We're from Vive 18.
Our podcast is called the Drug Prevention Power Hour. And my healthy habits last year was to get into working out at 4 times a week. And I don't enjoy working out, so I thought, how can I enjoy it more? And I looked for pickup basketball games and put them on my calendar twice a week. And then our church does a group workout, and so I knew if I had accountability from our friends at church, I would more likely show up to that. So that really, really worked for me, is to find ways to enjoy the things that I said I didn't.
Yeah, and we incorporate a morning walk each day, either to the fitness class at church or just walking around the neighborhood when it's not a workout day. And something unique that I do is I bring my coffee cup every morning on our walk, but I fill it with water, so that way I at least drink one full cup of water before I get my coffee in for the day, because I can't make my coffee for work until it's empty.
Mm-hmm. Feels good.
Yeah.
Hi, my name is Wendy Wozniak, and my podcast is called AP History Help. And one healthy habit that I've really adopted in my life is to make sure that I drink plenty of water. And whenever possible, I add slices of lemon.
Hi, my name is Scott Johnson. My podcast is called What Was That Like? And you can find it at whatwasthatlike.com. And one healthy habit that I have started implementing, I don't know, probably a few months ago, I guess, is when I first wake up, I have my morning routine, but I have started doing I have a dumbbell workout that I do, and I've started doing that before I start my work stuff, like email and checking Facebook and all the stuff that just all of a sudden takes up too much time in your day, and you never get back to the workout. So I know if I do it first, it's done, and I feel really good starting my day knowing that, hey, I'm in control this day. I can do what I want, and I choose to do that first to get it out of the way.
Hi, I'm Deborah, and my podcast is for the love of goats. Yes, goats, the little four-legged animals, is what I talk about in my podcast. And the healthy habit that I started in 2020 was doing yoga every day, and the last year or so, I have gradually done that less and less, and I really feel it. So I am definitely getting back to that, because I realize I really have to do it at least 5 times a week, if not 7.
Hi, my name is Brad Miller, and I have the Cancer and Comedy podcast, which is helping people to cope with cancer-impacted people to cope with hope and humor. It's at cancerandcomedy.com, and I'm glad to be here with you, with Abby, to kind of talk about healthy habits that I have. I lost 100 pounds about 20 years ago and used surgery and other things to do that, and ebbed and flowed in my health journey. But the thing I do right now more than anything else is I have a very good discipline of going to my local gym about at least 3 times, sometimes 4 days and 5 days a week for about 20, 30-minute workout that I have a routine that I do. So that's in the mornings, and in the evenings, most evenings, about 5 days a week. My wife is an avid walker, and we walk probably at least a mile 4 to 5 days a week. And then weekends, we often go on a longer hike in like a wooded area and this type of thing. So consistency in exercising has been a really important thing for me to have a little bit of clarity about my health journey, especially after going through a cancer process, much more clear to me. So that's what I encourage people to do: consistency and exercise.
I'm Rebecca Harvin. My podcast is Behind the Curtain, honest conversations about foster care and adoption. And a healthy habit that I have recently started is I joined a run club in November to help me with mental discipline, and it's going really well.
Hey, I'm James York. I have the 13th Floor podcast, and a healthy habit that I do is gratitude journaling every evening. I list 3 things I'm grateful for and 3 good things that happened that day.
Hi, I'm Eileen Kelly. My podcast is Strangers with Kittens, and my healthy habit is I take my 2 dogs for a walk outside every day. I take them for a drive. They love being in the car. We go to a park, and no matter what the weather is, I get out there and do a couple loops just to get some fresh air, get them outside, and just feel like I'm part of things.
My name is Seth Ryan, and podcast is Old Ranger, Army Ranger, New Dad, Old Ranger, New Dad. So one of the main things that I do, and this is something I hear often, you look younger than you are, because I'm 45 right now, is to drink water at the very beginning of the day and maintain that by having a large container with at least half a gallon of water and drink that steadily throughout the day. And then when I go to the gym, I'm going to refill it back up and drink that while I'm there. I have to drain it before I leave the gym. That's the rule.
A healthy habit for me is when I'm feeling stressed and overwhelmed is to walk away. Literally, I will get on my walking shoes and go for a 10-minute, 20-minute walk, get outside, breathe the fresh air. Doesn't matter if it's raining, bring an umbrella, but go and just clear my mind, clear my soul, clear my energy. Then I can come back in full force. I'm Christina Vidovich of Women Getting Visible as my podcast.
As you can see, there are many different ways that podcasters are staying healthy. I was so thrilled to be able to interview so many different people at PodFest with all different backgrounds and what their health looks like. As we know, health looks different for so many people, and it can look like emotional health, it can look like physical health, and I think that all of these were really fantastic recommendations. And I hope that you can take away one of those and implement it in your own life. Everyone here listed their podcasts, and I highly recommend that you check them out. They are all fantastic. I'm going to go ahead and put them all into the show notes so that you can easily find them and maybe check out a new podcast and find a new favorite. You never know. Thanks for coming along with me to PodFest. If you're enjoying this podcast and want to support it, there are a few ways that you can do that. Listening and sharing the episodes already means so much, but if you'd like to support the show financially, you can now. Down in my show notes, there's going to be a link right at the top that says support the show. Contributions help cover production costs and allow me to keep creating thoughtful, accessible content for you. There's absolutely no pressure. This show will always be free to listen to, but if you've gotten value from these conversations and want to give back in that way, I'm incredibly grateful. You can find the link in the show notes. And I look forward to seeing you on the next episode of Talk Your Abs Off.